explore, save, and share recipes from your favorite foodie influencers. Save to collections, create free meal plans, and shop the ingredients you need with ease. On Food Social, we make it easy to find great recipes, get your ingredients, and connect with hundreds of trusted creators.
Hello and happy Tuesday. How are you doing, Michelle?
Good. Happy Tuesday. Indeed, an actual Tuesday. Last Tuesday felt like Monday.
Yeah.
But today is definitely.
Last Tuesday was like 2 Mondays.
It felt like 2 months. It was such a long week.
You know. And yet here we are on the eve of fall, and pumpkin and apple are all around.
Right. What's the count up to today? I haven't looked.
So apple's in the lead by 5 or so recipes. So it's very
okay. I still have a couple.
That's amazing.
I just can't stop.
Oh.
You know how it is. You get stuck on an idea mode, and then you just like, oh, I should do this. And, trying to get it all done by Friday will be a trick, but we'll see.
Right. Boy, Michelle, you are freezing a ton today.
I know.
I don't know what's going on.
It's not me, right? My IT guy is actually here today.
I don't think so.
I don't know. But I think my audio doesn't freeze, right? So I'll just keep talking.
No, and I'm gonna look and see if I can make some on-the-fly adjustments here to help. It just
video
live.
It's great till it's not, and then we're like, what?
We're live. It's all good. I'll just change our broadcast bit rate, and we will see what happens. But if you're joining us from Instagram or YouTube, LinkedIn, the Shop app, welcome. We are Food Social. We're home to hundreds of creators and brands, over 10,000 recipes, and 4,000 shoppable products. We're so excited to have you here. We're all together because of our common love of food. And today we are talking about what, Michelle?
Okay. This almost feels unfair because I think I've done this to you more than you have put me on the spot. But I know you're gonna like this. I really feel like you're gonna like it. So I'll just lead off with this and then you'll know right where I'm going. Do you remember the first time that you heard chatter about mushrooms as umami?
Yeah.
How many years ago?
7, 8 years ago, probably.
Okay. Same. And because I was thinking about, I just want to talk about mushrooms today. So there's that. Because they are, they're having a moment. We know that like cottage cheese has had its moment, proteins, all the thing. But for me, let's just go back a little bit. For me, the first time I ever heard chatter about mushrooms was in sync at the same time I heard about umami. And you know who I heard that from?
Probably Michelle Tam.
Yes, you're right. See, I knew you would know right where I was going. So in her first book, and she had it probably on her blog for longer than that, she had her magic mushroom powder. That was just like, what are you talking about? Like, the only magic mushrooms I knew about were the kind my brother used back in high school and he got in big trouble for. So I was like,
amazing.
What is she putting in for food? And so anyway, so I started making her mushroom powder, giving it away as holiday gifts. And then she did something so great that she came out with and bottled it for us.
I know.
In her magic mushroom powder that Spice Lab, who's on our market, carries. But I just thought we'd talk a little bit about why mushrooms are having its moment and see what you think about it, and just some interesting tidbits I looked into because, about 10 years ago, we were all like, mushrooms? Okay, you could just go buy the little white button mushrooms, and put them on your pizza or put them in a salad. But they're so boring that way compared to what we have available nowadays, right? So couple of things from what I have looked into. The pandemic for another silver lining, spurred a lot of mushroom interest, because one of the specialty markets that provides a lot of mushrooms in this country, ahead of the pandemic, most stores were only ordering about 2 pounds per month per consumer.
Okay.
But it rose to 5 pounds a week per consumer that they were then ordering to get out to stores.
So a 10x increase month over month, essentially, or for
right.
each month. That's amazing. That's
a bump. Yeah. And then it wasn't just the button mushrooms, it was specialty mushrooms.
Sure.
And I remember the first time I heard talk of what a specialty mushroom was, because we all know the show The Last of Us, and that also played into a lot of the popularity for mushrooms, because the cordyceps were talked about as, the villain in that show, and true to, they're technically not, but
that's funny.
Back PaleoFX, I got to meet the founder of Four Sigmatic, another brand that's on our platform, and Drew and I enjoyed our first cup of chaga mushroom. I don't know if it's an elixir mix, but it is chaga. It's a mushroom chaga, and they put it in hot chocolate at the show.
Yeah.
And we've been adding it to our Creole brew, but it's just the earthy flavor it provides. You're just like, how have I not enjoyed this forever? No. Right? Because it just lends umami. And maybe we should talk about what umami means. I just assume everybody knows that, but do you want to
isn't it the fifth flavor, right? I mean, you've got salty, sweet, savory,
sour,
and umami. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's one of those that I think it has roots in Japanese culinary way back in the day, that it was discovered that we have a different sense. It's that umami, which is, if you think about tomatoes or bacon, just the way your glands salivate a little bit differently. Well, mushrooms kind of fall into that. And so that's where umami comes from. And I think I have been incorporating using mushrooms since Michelle Tam made it so popular. I think we can, at least I give a nod to her for helping me lean into that and using it as a flavor enhancer, because I can't use MSG. It just doesn't work with my gut, and a lot of people it's just fine. But I started making my own porcini powder, dried mushroom porcini powder.
Nice.
Because you just take dried mushrooms, and grind them up, and you only need like a pinch, but it just adds that elevated flavor to a lot of dishes. And I throw like half of this in my slow cooker with roast beef. Big time flavor upgrade. So
I feel like you're very into the umami category of cooking too, because I hear you talking a lot about these types of ingredients. Furikake is like another one that you're always talking about when we talk. And I'm like so intrigued, just because like when I think of you and your cooking, I think of like the baking and the pies and all of that. When you like take a closer look, you're really cooking in that way too. And what else do you like other than those two ingredients? Are there other sources of umami that you're typically trying to get into your food?
Yeah, that's what I was you segueing right into where I was gonna go, is that there are so many, the availability of how you can infuse your food with that umami. Allie and I at Fancy Foods in January, truffle everything.
Yeah. Yep.
Like this, I happen to know, I read an article. They are not on our market. I would love to get them on our market.
Yeah.
This was Oprah Winfrey. She keeps this in her purse, apparently. I read an article, and she uses this with her when she goes out, and it's just an umami powder. So it's pretty,
Oprah's purse is the most expensive real estate in the world, right?
No kidding. And so this is just a great way you can infuse your food easily. If you don't want to try and make your own, but this is cheaper than this, you know. But we also have on Texas Salt Company and actually Seasons vinegars. They have a couple of vinegars that are porcini infused. I think it's black truffle infused, some vinegars that already have that umami infused in it, which is great. And I have gone through many bottles of this. Again, another brand not on the market, but Truff, if you're out there, call us. We would love to have you join us. But this truffle oil, you don't need a lot, as you can imagine. But I make a salad dressing with this, and it is the little kiss of truffle in it. So this is a highly concentrated oil. You do not need a lot.
That's right.
It will make your taste buds explode if you use too much.
What a fun topic. So now that I know what we're talking about, I'm tossing together a little mushroom sale. So
oh, good.
If you're
that's
watching,
what I was going to say. And surprisingly, it's also in several of Further Foods collagens.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because they use I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Tremella mushroom, Tremella. So they call it their beauty mushroom. So again, it's used culinarily. I don't know if I'm saying that right, culinarily. But most of their flavored collagens have the beauty mushrooms in there, the chocolate, the hazelnut. I even believe the new pumpkin one does, but this is their vanilla, and I've been using their vanilla for many, many years. So it's also available in a powdered form with the collagen, so you could bake with that. I have used it in muffins and cakes because it just kind of goes in with the dry ingredients, and then you have a collagen boost, you know, from so again, mushrooms there, so they call it beauty mushrooms. So all these the specialty mushrooms, from what I understand, have increased double in availability and what stores are providing for consumers, because they have seen such an uptick in like chanterelles and the lion's mane mushroom. I love chanterelles, but what's the other really popular one? Lion's mane trumpet, like those big trumpet mushrooms. Yeah, those are the ones. I think Pan's Mushroom Jerky uses the trumpet mushrooms to make their jerkies.
That product is so delicious too. Have you?
Yeah,
you've had it.
I haven't. I know. I need to order it because I love mushrooms, and I think all these because he has a few different flavors, right? Because he has teriyaki, he has original.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So whether you want to snack on it like this, because that's just a fun way to snack, but we have mushroom coffees. Like there is the availability of mushrooms, and the way that we're seeing it infused in things it was on everything in the show. I'm trying to remember. They had risotto. They were serving truffle salt on popcorn, something like this. I think it was Sabatino was at Fancy Foods. They were sprinkling this on popcorn so everyone could taste it.
Yeah.
So it was
fun.
It's been a fun avenue to kind of experiment and play with. And I even made a mushroom flatbread recipe last year, I think, for the Recipe Rumble, and it was amazing. The mushrooms they just add such a great flavor without a lot of extra seasonings with it. I just, that for me makes it's really fun. So there you go.
We should do a mushroom themed campaign. That would be that would be so much.
The culinary mushroom. We don't want to.
Well, depending on what state you live in, you could provide.
That is true.
Recipes.
I would get in big time trouble here, but yes.
Probably. Very cool.
But anyways, they all have there's so many different vessels to be curious about. I guess that's what bottom line, between The Last of Us, the very stressful show that's been on TV, and the cordyceps that are involved there, that's cordyceps gone crazy and wild. But so we had also in the pandemic, that Netflix special, The Fabulous Fungi, was also really popular. And so that gained, a lot of traction for people to be curious about mushrooms for many reasons, not just in the culinary space. And then Nicolas Cage did a movie called, is it Pig or The Pig? Pig.
Pig.
It's Nicolas Cage, or it's called Pig, but it's about truffles and
cool.
his pig. It's just a really, I would say, if you're curious about, if you love food and you're curious about truffles, that is a really heartfelt movie. If just to learn about, it was different than I expected, but we enjoyed it so much. It is really a foodie movie. So if you love food like we do, it's worth a watch. And I don't know where it streams, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Truffle hunting is so interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of drawing a blank on where I read about it, or maybe I saw a documentary on it. I feel like I maybe read about it in a magazine once, but there's like certain places where it's big. And I think one of the biggest places is like North Carolina, which.
Yeah, I know there in the States there is, and they have been training dogs to do it too. So not just pigs.
Yeah.
I want to say it's out that on the east. I mean, I'm west, I'm in Utah, so anything of me is east, but out east somewhere. So but yeah, it's traditionally been pigs. They have truffle pigs, that's what they do. And they sniff them out. And they're super expensive. So the availability of something like this, is great because A, we don't have to go forage, B, we don't have to go buy a $500 truffle, and then have it go bad before we can even think of all the ways that you could use it. So
it's making me think we should get Tasha Tyndall on here because she does foraging for mushrooms, and I wonder if we could convince her to come on the show and talk a little bit about I think she's also gotten logs that are inoculated with mushrooms, and so I think she's grown them. So we'd have to get her on to talk about it, but
it's fascinating. I think just in terms of what they can provide, how sustainable they are, because they grow on waste, so they actually help sustainability with the ground and the earth, and they can grow vertical, and so there's a lot of reasons they're very interesting. And I think also the plant-based movement, a lot more people are experimenting with plant-based. And so that's also, those bigger mushrooms lend a lot of variability for the vegan plant-based space. And that's great too. And we know Actual Veggies, another brand on our platform, they use mushrooms in many of their patties as well. So anyways, there's been a lot of things behind the popularity, and it's growing, but the flavor profiles it can provide in a dish are just something to be experimented with. And I would say tiptoe into it. Don't go full on too much, because then it'll be almost too much for your palate. You don't want to ruin it for your palate.
That is so funny. So if somebody wanted to get started, what's like one product you would recommend to get started to dip your toes in? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Mushroom powder. Or even a little bit of the truffle salt, just to maybe even just finish your steak with it, just a little bit. You don't want to, like I said, it's a very strong flavor. It can be very assaulting. So tiptoeing into it. But Michelle Tam she uses this in everything, and she also has an umami stir fry powder as well. I mean, anything Michelle Tam is talking or making, I'm making it or eating it. So that's just.
Seriously. Shout out to a dear friend of a very long time
I know. I finally did get to meet her in person in January at Fancy Foods, and it was like seeing an old friend because her and I've connected, and she wrote a little blurb for our book. And so it's, but I just think get out there, and I love to have people get curious in the kitchen. And so if this is another way to be curious and not feel like things are so mundane, you could add this to mayonnaise and just try it a little bit that way on a sandwich or in your tuna, or just something that you're familiar with, but you want to give it a little kick of flavor. Just experiment a little bit and give it a go. That's what I would say.
We're just here to help y'all get in the kitchen and spice things up.
Really though? Yeah, do it. It's worth it. It's worth it to be curious. You're going to love it. I promise.
You're going to love it. All right. Well, we'll be back again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern to chat about something else. We'll
We'll take requests. If you have requests, let us know. We'll talk about it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Michelle. See everybody tomorrow.
See ya.
All right,
Bye.
bye.